Morning children. Today we are going to do the exercise of Rip Van Winkle. We have already done the question answers. Now we will be doing the exercise of Rip Van Winkle, page 107. Now in this page, the first question which is written is quick answers. Now in this quick answers, fill in the blanks to show all the things Rip enjoyed doing for others. Now he was doing things for others but not doing anything for his farm, for himself and for his wife. So what he was doing for others, let us just revise. Now for anyone except Dame Winkle was his wife. For anyone except Dame Winkle, he would run errands. I told you the word run errands means chote kaam, all types of works he was doing. He was running errands. I told you before errands you always use run. He would run errands. And for the woman, he would help the women with their chores. Another word for errands is chores. chores, chores. And for the children, he mended their broken toys and also made them learn how to fly kites. And for the old men, share a game of cards. So this is all he was doing for others except for his wife, his family and his farm. Now put a tick against the statements that are true and cross against those that are false. Nobody in the village liked Rip because he was very lazy. Is it right or wrong? Nobody in the village liked Rip because he was very lazy. Is it right? He wasn't lazy. Everybody liked him in the village, so this is false. Rip's house was well kept. Was it well kept? No. False. Rip did not know the tiny man with the keg. He knew. So this is also false. He did not know the tiny man with the keg. Yes, this is true. The tiny old man offered Rip a drink from the keg. The tiny old man offered Rip a drink from the keg. Yes, true. And what is a keg? It is a bottle, or it is a what do you call it? It is a container with a tap. That is called a keg. K-E-G, keg. Now Gerda was surprised to see Rip after so many years. It is true. So these were the true and false. Now a reference to context. Very easy, this you have to do it in your class for copy. Rip Van Winkle could do anybody's work but his own. He grumbled, saying that his farm land was not good and did not allow anything to grow on it. So what work should Rip have been doing? If this statement, what work he had been doing? Was he a construction worker? Or was he a road worker, or was he a farmer? He was a farmer because he used to till his land. He used to make his land grow crops. So he was a farmer. What was the condition of Rip's house and farm? His condition was very shattered. This is a new word, shattered. What is the spelling of shattered? S-H-A-T-T-E-R-E-D, shattered. Shattered means completely bad condition. His condition of the house and farm was, his house was neglected and his farm was shattered. Okay. Do you think Rip was a helpful man? Yes, of course he was a helpful man. He was helping all the villagers. He was helping all the women, men, children and other passers-by of the village. Okay. Now this reference to context, you have to write it in one sentence or maybe two, not more than that. They are not long question answers. While rambling one fine autumn evening, Rip reached one of the highest parts of the mountain. Where was Rip rambling? Now what do you mean by rambling? If you are listening to my videos, I am sure you will be able to understand the entire lesson in one go. You will not require to learn anything or to even revise. You just read the lesson. Difficult words, if you have listened properly in the video, you will know their meanings and you can use them. Now, rambling means a leisure walk, leisurely walk. Rambling is written also, leisure walk, rambling, walking for pleasure, especially in the countryside, leisure walk. Okay, countryside में आप जब ramble कर रहे हो, घूम रहे हो, pleasure, अपने enjoyment के लिए. Okay, where was Rip rambling? Rip was rambling on the mountain slope. He was rambling in the mountain slope and suddenly he reached the top of the mountain. Okay, and the next being, when did Rip usually go for a walk? वो कब जाता था वॉक पे? Rip usually went for a walk when his wife used to, yes, his wife used to scold him. Then he used to just go out of the house, not listening to her, and just rambled in the mountains, a mountain slope. When he used to scold means डांटती थी, and when there used to be a big fight in the house over the household chores, over the household errands, then he used to walk. Okay, then he used to ramble, he used to go for a long walk. What did Rip do when he reached the highest part of the mountain? What did Rip do? What did he do? He helped the tiny man to fill the water of keg, and then the keg was shared, the water was shared by all the tiny men when he met on the mountain slope, on the mountain, and he also drank water from it. Okay, what did Rip do when he reached the highest part of the mountain? He drank water from the water keg and he fell asleep for 20 years. Now, read, reflect and write. Now, in this, first question being, what sound did Rip hear as he walked with the little man? What sound did he hear? He heard a sound of gurgling stream. He heard the sound of distant thunder. Distant thunder, ऐसी आवाज़ दूर से जैसे कि थंडर बज रही हो, जैसे कि बिजली कड़क रही हो. He heard a sound of distant thunder. You have to write the answer like this. Where did the sound come from? The sound came from gurgling stream. जो stream का पानी गगल कर रहा था, आवाज़ ऊंची ऊंची दे रहा था, वहीं से gurgling stream से ही ये आवाज़ आ रही थी. So the sound, he heard a sound of distant thunder and the sound came from gurgling stream. Pick out clues from the story that tell us that Rip had a long sleep. Very important. Pick out clues from the story that tell us that Rip had a long sleep. One was, his clothes were worn out. When he was coming down from the slope, he could not, he was not able to recognize his own, he could not recognize the roads because the roads had totally changed. People were giggling, the small children were giggling, looking at him because he was old-fashioned. Then he had grown a long beard. This shows that he has come after a long sleep. He could not recognize his own daughter Gerda and his wife Rip Van Winkle, and his wife Dame Winkle, who had become old. Then the village looked bigger and more crowded, and things looked so different that he had to ask the directions for going he asked the directions to reach his own house. Then, and people looked strange for him because 20 years down 20 years he was sleeping, so people were looking also different for him. So these are the different clues which shows that Rip Van Winkle had a long sleep. He had a long sleep. What do you think Dame Winkle said when he saw Rip? Now tell me, what Dame Winkle used to always scold him when he was not working. So when he came after 20 years, what did what do you think Dame Winkle would have told him? He would have welcomed him, or he would have scolded him, or he would have felt bad about it. You have to write the answer by yourself. If you were Gerda, what questions would you have asked Rip on the day he returned home? अगर आप गर्डा होते, आप उनकी डॉटर होते, तो what questions would have asked your father if your father had come after 20 years? So these two questions you have to do by yourself and submit. And please read this lesson once again. I'm going to take live class on Friday, and I'm going to ask you a lot of questions from the book. Okay? Meanwhile, just finish page number 107. The first question, you have to do it in the copy, and the second question also you have to do it, the first question and the second question you have to do it in the book, and the third, fourth and fifth question, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7, 8, you have to do it in the class work copy. So children, this chapter will be over. We'll be doing other exercises and revision worksheets with you. So finish your work today. If it is possible, you finish today by 5 p.m. Submit the work to me. You do not, all of you are not submitting the work. So please submit the work to me. Read the lesson thoroughly and enjoy your work.